This is In the Know for Friday, December 8th, the 342nd day of 2023. There are 23 days left in the year. Good morning, MD, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app. Using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We may knock the dust off of some Christmas favorites later on in the show. Feels like a very Friday thing to do. We will talk about the weekend movie premieres. Chevy Chase in true Clark Griswold fashion takes a tumble. We'll tell you about that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
You know, I have had just a huge delight over the last couple of months since you started your booth about calling it Vandelay Industries and your importing and exporting abilities and your skills. And so anyway, we've just it's become part of the vernacular, has it not?
Absolutely.
And we enjoy it. So I discovered something last night that just kind of confirmed my confidence and belief in the fact that we do that. I decided, I don't know how many times I've watched Seinfeld straight through, and episode 1 of season 1 was the pilot, and it was called the Seinfeld Chronicles. Elaine didn't appear in it. The set was different. The coffee shop was different. But in episode 2 of season 1, which is after it was greenlit, did you know that Art Vandelay is referred to in that episode?
I did not know
that.
The
very first episode where George and Jerry and Elaine and Kramer are all together. They are standing at the base of the elevator. He's waiting for the girl whose name he does not know to step off. They try to come up with a cover story of what they're doing in the building, and they're there to see a friend, and it's Art Vandelay, who is an importer and exporter.
That is great.
So isn't
I love it.
There's the logo right there.
Wow. That is fantastic.
I think you need some T-shirts made of that. And looking at importing and exporting since 1989. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee. Covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Brownsville. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. Happy Grayson Edmondson Day, right?
Yeah, happy Swampy Redneck matchup day today. We got a doubleheader tonight, Cougars and Wildcats. Then you got a high school game tomorrow night. Do you have a center game tomorrow during the day? Like you're not doing the marathon or something?
No. They D3's weird. They don't play after December the 10th, or if they do, they all go warm.
Finals, and then they all go home,
and then they all go to warm places to play. I think they're playing in Myrtle Beach or something like that.
There are worse places to be. There are better places to be, but there are worse places to be, no doubt. And then the Bengals host the Colts on Sunday?
Correct.
Is that right? So
correct.
I guess you'll be in attendance. What's the weather look like for Cincinnati Sunday afternoon?
I've got too much between now and then to look that far ahead yet.
You can't focus on that yet is what you're saying.
Correct. There's too much to do between now and then.
All right, very good. Hey, an active, windy, and wet weather pattern is ahead for the weekend, and we'll see while we have sunshine while we're doing the show live, if you're listening live or watching live. We'll see clouds increase, and perhaps crowds as well. Clouds will increase as we go throughout the day today. Well, we'll top out at about 62 today. We'll bottom out at 55 overnight tonight. 65 tomorrow with 100% chance of rain. And then the rain will hang around through at least the early part of Sunday with a high of 42. And then the temperature falls behind that weather system moving out Sunday evening. And we will see an overnight low of 28. No wintry precipitation is expected for the 42754, 42721, 42726. Those areas. And then 41 on Monday, and then kind of just a mild December winter week next week is what we can look forward to at this point. Some of the big headlines to pass along to you today. I did see a national headline where Hunter Biden has been charged. He's been indicted on 9 tax charges, adding to his gun charges in a special counsel investigation. There's been a back and forth between the House Oversight Committee and the Hunter Biden people. He wants to testify publicly. They want him to testify privately. I'm not sure what each has to gain by doing it the way they want, other than just being at odds so that they don't get anything accomplished. But I did see where Abby Lowell is the defense attorney. And she said that they were bowing to Republican pressure in this case. She going on to say, she said, if his last name was not Biden, he would not be facing these charges. And she may be 100% correct, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But if his last name weren't Biden, he wouldn't be on the board of Burisma, and he wouldn't sell artwork for millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars that our 7-year-old could paint better than. So it is all about who your last name is, to your advantage and to your disadvantage from time to time. The state police are, earlier this week, state police, FBI, and Kentucky Transportation Cabinet were in an area of Nelson County earlier this week in Cox's Creek. It's right along the border of Nelson County and Bullitt County, and it is the most recent location where they have been digging and searching for. Officials won't say if it's Crystal, if it's Tommy, or if it's the officer. His name escapes me at the moment.
They have the officer and Tommy.
They do.
I'm
okay.
Almost positive because
but maybe
that's how they knew where they were killed.
I saw Shay McAllister say, yes, you're right. I saw Shay McAllister say that she would not say which case they are searching evidence for, that it could be something related to the Tommy Ballard case, but it's evidence that they're searching for. Anyway, they spent a majority of the afternoon 2 days ago digging, but they have not commented on it, but they would not specify if it was limited to one case or if it could involve multiple cases. Perhaps we will find something out more. Thompson Road is where it was, but it was kind of funny to see the transportation cabinet's big earth moving equipment going to that scene, but it made sense. I mean, if you got public officials and official departments who are doing that type of excavation and they have the equipment, it seems to make sense to me. The Ohio County Sheriff's Office said an unknown male entered the Raceway Market in McHenry about 8 o'clock Wednesday night. The suspect was wearing a mask and gloves, brandished a firearm, and demanded money. He left the store with an undisclosed amount of cash. The suspect is a white male thought to be driving a black Mercedes. He was last seen traveling on Highway 62 toward Beaver Dam, so if you know anything, they'd love to have your information. 298-4444. Saw a piece on the national news a week or so ago. It's talking about the crime rates in metropolitan areas. And they say how much of a disadvantage retailers are now because you aren't automatically distressed when you see someone wearing a mask. 4 years ago, if you saw someone enter a business wearing a mask, you immediately were suspicious of what's this person trying to pull. And then there's the old classic, wear a mask into a bank and you're obviously a bank robber. But because of the season we've all lived through, you at least might do a double take or, like, oh, there's a person wearing a mask. Wait a minute. So anytime I see a mask being used perpetrating a crime, I think, well, it used to be that was at least a clue. Think, oh, something may be up here that we need to pay attention to. State Auditor Mike Harmon has released the results of a special examination of the Kentucky Community and Technical College system. It turned up 5 findings and 2 observations in the 16-school system that serves over 100,000 students statewide. They had been asked by the Board of Regents to do this special audit, and it showed kind of a lack of transparency on some issues. But I found it to be interesting in this regard. If you don't know the history of the KCTCS system, I don't know that all of the 16 campuses existed prior to the formation of the technical KCTCS. If you're old like me, you knew ECTC used to be just ECC, and you had KCC, and you just had different community colleges And while they were under the umbrella of education, they weren't necessarily spokes in the same wheel that the KCTCS was the hub in the center of. But when the KCTCS was more solidified and said, we're going to create a network of all of these entities for information sharing, for economies of scale, there is some independence still that maintained by the individual. ECTC has some autonomy over theirs, but funds do go from ECTC to KCTCS. And one of the things they found was that KCTCS, as the big organization, overcharged community colleges $24 million and retained the proceeds from the overcharges as part of the system office's unrestricted carry forward balance. So now that kind of sounds confusing, but if you think 16 campuses, $24 million, that's a sizable, even on an average, that it sounded like was supposed to stay at the campus level. But the important part about it as well, anytime you have a public office that changes hands, whether it's a sheriff's office where you've got money involved and tax dollars and they're the collector of tax dollars, Ryan Quarles will be new to the job. And I think it's also important that when you're trying to get clarity and trying to move forward and shape a future, it's important to have some really good information that auditors can tell you and say, here's where we are, here are the things we need to change, and here's where we need to go in the future. So I think it's helpful information. And the Board of Regents was thankful for the information, what they were able to learn. A 10-year veteran of the Kentucky House Representatives from Bullitt County will be stepping down from his post to take the number 2 position under incoming State Treasurer Mark Metcalf. Representative Russell Weber from Shepherdsville will resign from the House to become Deputy Treasurer. Metcalf made the announcement yesterday, so I guess they will have a special election for that seat. It'll have to be called to fill the last year of Weber's term in the House, just like the U.S. House of Representatives, the Kentucky House runs on 2-year terms as well. Ray Davis will wear his UK football jersey one more time. Well, yeah, only one more time, right?
Yeah,
he won't be back next year.
No, he's already entered the draft.
So he will enter the draft, but he will play the bowl game. And as Sam, you mentioned earlier this week, it's because of Clemson. Isn't it fair to say?
You would imagine so, that's what has the biggest impact on why he's deciding to play.
If they were to play some also ran that didn't mean a whole lot, probably would be more likely to say.
And then the actual bowl game itself being, the Gator Bowl a little bit higher they're playing in the Music City Bowl. It's not quite as exciting, not as many eyes on it as well. So I think, Clemson brings more eyes. The game itself brings more eyes, and I think he thinks he can improve his draft stock.
Leary in as QB1, but Stoops was talking about kind of unsure on who QB2 might be for the bowl game because the situation is fluid.
Kaya Sharon's transferred, Destin Wade's transferred, even the guy Deuce Hogan I think transferred. So they got a walk-on who played at Dayton last year.
I have it on pretty good authority. You have eligibility left.
No, I've aged out.
You have technically aged out?
Aged out, yep.
I thought there were some 27 and 28-year-olds playing that had COVID years, so I thought maybe you could get in there.
You have to be, I think, an Australian punter for that.
Aaron Bradshaw was relieved after he made his first appearance during Kentucky's loss Saturday to UNC Wilmington. He played 12 minutes, scored 3 points, grabbed a pair of rebounds, and added a blocked shot. I just thought the offense... I thought the team looked awkward with him. They weren't used to him in that setting, and he's not used to them in that setting. So we're hoping that getting, as he called it, the monkey off of his back, things will start to look a little more fluid. He'll become more vocal, the leader that he wants to be, as the Cats will be in Philadelphia to play Penn tomorrow with an 11 o'clock Central tip. But that is only after the Cougars and Lady Cougars face off against the Wildcats and Lady Wildcats tonight. Sam, always a big time between these two.
Does anything else really need to be said? I mean,
I don't suppose.
Grayson Edmondson, it's a great rivalry. Obviously, the last time we were in Brownsville, some fireworks happened as far as on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Edmondson has dominated the series of these last, 2 seasons or so. So I know Grayson's hungry. Edmonton's girls has, Carrie Ann Williams, who's about 6'2", who obviously, if you're a Wilkie student, Jonathan Williams, that's his daughter, who's she's a really, really good player, and it's interesting how Grayson County goes up against her. But then the story there as well is Coach Mack. He spent, 16 years coaching the boys and girls at Edmonton, so you got to imagine that there'll be some emotions. And Edmonton's girls coach is one of his former assistants, so you kind of get that. And then on the boys' side, Edmonton's new boys coach is Trey Tinsley, who played freshman, sophomore, junior season at Grayson County, and his dad is John Tinsley.
They're just connections everywhere.
So it's kind of interesting that there's so many with it on really just the coaching staffs.
It's kind of like it's like a extended family reunion.
It is.
You got distant cousins and you got all that stuff. How have the Cats and Lady Cats seasons gone to this point?
Edmonton girls are 4-0. Edmonton boys are 2-2. So it should, but like I always say, you could take those records and crumple them up and throw them in the trash can because it's Grayson Edmonton, and both these teams want to beat the other one more than almost anybody else on their schedule. So it's going to be a great game. You can watch it. Luckily, watch it by K105 Digital Productions today.
The first of two for sure matchups between the programs this season. Could be
Correct.
more when you get into postseason. So that'll be what, 17:40, 5:40 tonight.
Yes.
5:40 tonight is when that will hit the air across all of our platforms. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
Wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues. The Watkins Funeral Home Legacy, a steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwell. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogers-watkins.com or experience the Watkins difference personally on North Main in Litchfield.
For more than 70 years, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center has cared for the health of our friends, neighbors, and family members in Grayson County and beyond. We've celebrated every beautiful newborn, every successful surgery, and every healed injury. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is focused on finding solutions to your health challenges. As part of the Owensboro Health System, we want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
Attention propane customers, has your existing provider been hard to reach? Have you had questions that haven't been answered or experienced long wait times or been asked to reply and send emails for customer support? Don't waste any more of your time. Southern States Co-op in Bowling Green will take your call. They will even swap out your existing tank to theirs at no charge. Southern States Bowling Green Co-op is ready to serve all your propane needs in Bowling Green and surrounding counties because empty is never an option.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start January 8th. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
AMD is luring business away from NVIDIA. Meta, OpenAI, and Microsoft have agreed to buy AMD's new AI chip as an alternative to NVIDIA's model. The Instinct MI300X is less expensive than NVIDIA's AI graphics chip. Uber is rolling out a robot reindeer to help deliver mobile food orders to customers during the holidays. The company says robots decorated to look like reindeer will be used for some Uber Eats orders in Miami, Los Angeles, and Fairfax, Virginia. The company says it hopes the festive robots will bring some holiday cheer to customers over the next few weeks. Uber also announced that it plans to roll out a fleet of festive charter buses, complete with holiday lights and karaoke machines in several cities, including Washington, D.C., New York City, and Chicago. And JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon is blasting cryptocurrencies. In remarks to Congress on Wednesday, Dimon said Bitcoin and other digital currencies should be banned. Dimon said if he was the government, he'd shut it down. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels
Today is Christmas Tree Day. Good day to put yours up if you haven't.
Well, if you need some ornaments, I know where you can find some.
Sunday is Dewey Decimal Day. Sunday is candlelight. Holiday season, and we're starting to know a little bit more. It's a familiar face to the complex. It's Josh Dickerson. He is now the owner and managing partner of the Christmas Story House and Museum, the 3-bedroom residence where the 1983 movie was filmed. 1983. So we're on a milestone for this season. Josh Dickerson is the new owner and managing partner, as I mentioned. He started with the organization as a warehouse employee 16 years ago, and he worked his way up to the CEO and owner. As we've told you, they have it's kind of a community. They have the Bumpus House. They have, obviously, Ralphie's house. They have some of the other houses. They have a gift shop that's in a completely different building. And we've been patrons of that store quite a bit over the years. So we wish them the best. They put it up for sale last year. It was opened back in 2006, so it's relatively new. Now, in the movie, if you watch it, the setting is Homan, Indiana, Hohman, but it was actually a suburb of Cleveland where it was filmed and where you can still visit today. So, go, Mr. Dickerson. There you go. The world's biggest cruise ship is 5 times the size of the Titanic, and it prepares to set sail. The new Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas, which is a new complete class. Most of the most recent largest ships in the world have been of the Oasis class, the Allure, Symphony, some of the we've been able to take some cruises on those. Complete change of format. It changes the look, changes the layout, changes the deck structure for Royal Caribbean, and it is a Hoss Cat, 5 times the size of the Titanic. Now, I don't know if that's length, width, or both, but it's a huge 1,200 feet long.
Wow.
So it is a fifth of the mile long by itself.
That's crazy.
You can't even wrap your brain around it, really.
No, and the other thing is these new neighborhoods. They have if you've sailed Royal Caribbean, throughout their fleet, they have things that are familiar to every ship, just so that you feel comfortable no matter which one you're on. But there are a lot of new neighborhoods that they've added into this, because primarily what they've done is they've just gone wider. You know, they've gone this kind of expanded horizontally to add more space.
Where can they dock?
Well,
Where can
fortunately,
they go?
they're not much longer than
Okay.
the Oasis class. They're just wider and a little bit taller.
Okay.
So they've kind of taken that into consideration.
Gotcha.
They also can, if you're familiar with the cruising industry, they can lay those stacks down. So if they cruise in and out of New Jersey, they got bridges to go under. They can lay those stacks down as they go through and make through. But I mean, just
pretty cool.
you know what the back of the Oasis class
Yeah,
looks like. So when you look at that,
absolutely.
it looks completely
Yeah.
a game changer. Pantone. What is the actual Pantone number? 131023 is the color of the year for 2024.
Hey.
Get ready for everything to be peach fuzz next year. You're going to see peach fuzz at weddings. You're going to see peach fuzz paint. You're going to
Listen,
see peach
it's
fuzz.
coming back. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when my mom got remarried, I looked like James and the Giant Peach.
That's fine.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Yes, James and the Giant Peach. I like this color of peach. It's kind of
Yeah, it's called fuzz.
soft.
So it's good like that. So, I mean, it's not tangerine, but it's peach, and that's okay. A Kentucky cleaner, a carpet cleaner, in fact, was cleaning a home, I presume, in the Lexington area.
It was
because
in
of the
Lexington.
station. It was in Lexington.
I
dug
further,
deeper.
yes.
You were curious to know as well, like where this came from. And he was going to clean the carpet, and he noticed there was an owl in the Christmas tree. So a hoot owl was in the holiday spirit. A baby owl blended into the Kentucky family days before an eagle-eyed carpet cleaner spotted the bird perched on a branch. The feathered guest spent 4 days inside homeowner Michelle White's living room after her family lugged back their Christmas tree this month, a yearly tradition. Noticed or paid any attention. The cleaner took a picture and sent it to the owner, and they were shocked. The bird was released back into the wild, and White, a knitter in her free time, is going to stitch an ornament of an owl to place on her tree permanently. I think that's pretty cool. So they gave that information to WDKY. Well, that's Fox. That's a Fox affiliate in Lexington, I think. We have some owls around our house, which I really enjoy.
So do I. Do too.
You see them fly over, and I just kind of enjoy them.
sounds.
I don't know. Yeah, they make a lot of cool different sounds. I don't know if I want one in the Christmas tree, but I don't mind one in the trees outside.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but they have to go. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
So, other than that.
Sam, have you watched The Grinch yet?
No.
This year? Honey, have you seen The Grinch yet for this season?
Do you really want to know how many times?
Oh, I don't mind how many times, but you have. I have
yeah.
not.
I won't watch really Christmas until like a couple of days.
Yeah.
I can't because it gets.
Christmas doesn't arrive for
My
you
list
until.
is already rather lengthy.
So it was one of the movies that I purchased it a couple of years ago on digital so that it's always available.
Are you talking Jim Carrey or the
Jim,
animated?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Okay. Yeah. And it is a favorite of our family. It's just, we quote it also throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
It probably a bigger favorite in our home. It's probably above Elf. collectively all kids considered,
Everybody.
mom and dad considered, just because of the way that we quote it. Love Elf without a doubt. The other
Cotton-headed
kids don't
Minnie
like. Sure, I mean, you just got so many great morsels, and sometimes the Grinch gets a bad rap. So I uncovered a few reasons how I think that the Grinch is awesome. And you may or may agree, you might disagree. Can we agree that he has the most sturdy sled in the world?
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, show me a sled, another sled that can do that or more than what his is able to do.
Agreed.
Can we agree that he basically walks around naked and no one seems to notice?
Agreed.
Like, he's a very hairy thing.
He's a what?
Who is cuter, Baby Grinch or Baby Yoda?
Oh, Baby Grinch probably, because I don't have
The
the
connection
love for
for Yoda.
I would love to ask Alea.
Oh, I can.
Who's cuter, Baby Grinch or Baby Yoda?
She's not a fan of Baby Yoda, though,
No,
is she?
she's not. But this is
No.
where it really would test her resolve.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, instead of Sheldon our elf visiting, I wonder if like a Baby Yoda might visit instead.
Can we agree not only a pretty awesome person could get Whoville to stop singing that song for a while?
The noise.
He has some of the best facial expressions you'll ever find. Fair enough.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the animated version.
See, I've not watched the animated version yet.
He confirms.
I'm talking the original.
original.
The original.
Okay. I was gonna say there's no way you haven't
yes,
seen
I have that one, obviously.
the one that's like 30 minutes long or something. No, I haven't seen the newest one.
He is awesome because he kind of backs up and confirms what Kermit said. It ain't easy being green.
Mm-hmm.
Can we agree on that part?
Sure.
And if Max loves him, shouldn't we love him too?
Yes.
Dogs are good judges of character.
Max.
Agreed.
I can't wait. Gertie's going to get one of those big reindeer horns.
Gertie
She's
looks
gonna-
so much like Max. Which
She's
is
going to
exactly
get one
what
of
I
those
wanted.
big reindeer horns strapped to her head, and she's going to look at us like,
Everybody looked at me like I was crazy when I started talking about getting another dog. I was like, I want one that looks like Max. So when we got her, she didn't look like Max. Then she got the haircut, and now the haircut is growing out just a little bit.
she's just
It's
a little
just
lighter.
right.
Yeah, it's just right there. So anyway,
Yes.
Does that
can't
make
wait.
you the Grinch?
Sometimes
I
it
think
can.
I think I probably carry that title. at the
Oh,
house.
mercy, look what we found. oh my goodness. People been asking for it. When you going to play it? It's close enough to Christmas. Ah, heck, it's Friday. Let's play it. Here's Zach Tyson and White Trash Christmas.
The stockings are hung by the wood-burning stove. Papa just told me that the well done froze. Trash Christmas. Daddy, get the gun for when the reindeer come. Mama said she could get if we kill us one. We both love hunting 'cause it's so much fun. It's a white trash Christmas. We got 7 cats scratching fleas underneath the artificial tree. Walmart certificate in my stocking. Mama's always queen of one-stop shopping. Bacon, eggs, and beer for Santa. God bless us, everyone. God bless us, everyone. The only snow I see is on my sister's shoulder. When our cousin comes over, he likes to hold her. She best get in the kitchen just like I told her. It's a white trash Christmas. We got turkey and spam, beans and yams. Papa's having flashbacks to Vietnam. Grab the kids, go run and hide. Take shelter underneath the double wide. Bacon, eggs, and beer for Santa. God bless us, everyone. God bless us, everyone. Mama spent the last of her welfare check to buy Grandpa a carton of cigarettes. But she knows it'll make his best Christmas yet. It's a white trash Christmas. The dog went and took another dump on the floor. Mama's making up a fresh batch of s'mores. Daddy got drunk and hit his head on the door. It's a white trash Christmas. My presents are wrapped in the comic strips, Goodwill shirts and deodorants, fresh beef jerky and a 6 of Miller Lite. We'll be having us a party on Christmas night. Bacon, eggs, and beer for Santa. God bless us, everyone. Bacon, eggs, and beer for Santa. God bless us, everyone. God bless us, everyone.
I'm Stephen Smith from the Sicilian Bank. Our gift to you this Christmas is our time-honored tradition of sharing the Christmas story. Here's Debbie Butler.
And so it was.
Host. Serve from 4 p.m. until showtime with pork tenderloin, chicken and dumplings, baked ham. Alpass Brothers' favorite salmon patties. Serve with a full salad bar, 2 vegetables, and bread. You don't what you do for the show. Call 270-358-3540.
Right now. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
On the basketball court, you have to know where the lines are. It's just as important to know where the lines are in your own yard. Kentucky law generally requires you to have underground utility lines located before most excavation work, even if it's on your own property. If you don't call 811 and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate you and you may be fined up to $1,250. Much better to stay within the bounds of the law and call before you dig to start putting in that backboard or goalpost. For more information, visit psc.ky.gov. This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield. A windy and warm day is on the way for your Friday across Wave Country. Plan for a high of 62 degrees with wind gusts as high as around 25 miles per hour. Overnight, we'll expect mild temperatures to continue, but our next rainmaker gradually moves in. This will lead to scattered showers and even a few thunderstorms for our Saturday. From the Wavestorm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
It's that time. Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of year. Hear that sleigh.
Did You Know is brought to you by Litchfield Memorial Chapel, providing Grayson County with compassionate, professional funeral, cremation, and pre-need services. Litchfield Memorial Chapel, celebrating life one family at a time. Call 259-4566 or visit litchfieldmemorial.com. Did you know the word friends is said in every episode of Friends.
I can see them being consistent to do that.
I did not know that when I read it, but it makes sense and probably relatively easy to do.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that, but I mean, I don't.
Now you need to go
Thanks
back and
for
watch.
confirming.
You need to go back and watch every episode and see if it's true.
You know someone has. Because the closed captioning is already available, somebody has gone in and scrubbed.
Control F.
And said season 2, episode 4, scene 3, or at some 17 minutes and 22 seconds in says blank. You know somebody has already done that. Because you've met people and they have way too much free time. The weekend movie premieres. Poor Things. It's an R-rated sci-fi romance. A sci-fi romance? In limited release, Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, and Willem Dafoe.
I know those people.
I guess now I understand why Emma Stone was hosting SNL last week. The Oath is out today. That's Billy Zane. Boo, we don't like Billy Zane.
What's wrong with...
He's the bad guy in Titanic. Boo, Billy Zane.
Oh, yeah. Also in that other... Oh, go ahead.
Darren Scott and Eugene Brace Rock in The Oath. And then also out today, re-releases of 2003's Love Actually and 1988's Die Hard is back in theaters today. There have been a couple times this week I thought, hey, come over here and watch Die Hard. But you've been busy vandalaying. So, but you do want to watch it, right?
Die Hard? I think so. I mean, if sort of. I have a feeling a little bit in, I'm going to kind of go, well, I'll either be asleep or I'll go, yeah, this is not for me.
Oh, yeah, but you definitely got to, Hans Gruber makes the movie. Hans Gruber. He's the antagonist. How to make Elf's legendary spaghetti at home this Christmas.
Dead Calm. That's the name of the movie.
Dead Calm. A high-end hostelry, this says, in Chicago is celebrating the 20th anniversary of Elf by recreating the unorthodox pasta dish concocted by Will Ferrell. Miss Ricky's, a restaurant located inside Chicago's Virgin Hotel, will be selling the sweet surprise now through December 31st, and it comes surprisingly affordable at $16. Daring diners can order the limited edition matchup, which features crispy confection or sugar-coated spaghetti, vanilla ice cream, chocolate sauce, marshmallows, M&Ms, crunchy wafers, and, of course, maple syrup.
What, a shot of insulin on the side, too?
So I learned this morning that, and maybe this was widely known before I knew it today, he apparently was sick in filming this and having to eat it. It was so much sugar that he was ill following shooting that scene, and it took him a while to recover. So I guess Will Ferrell probably does not want this meal again. And by the way,
you got to think though how many times they have to film that scene to where how many times did he actually have to eat it, and
That's
can
right.
you not do cutaways where like he can spit it out or something? I mean, surely in the technology that we have, are you really having to consume that?
I always wonder that too about convincing stuff about having to, from a continuity standpoint, you have to like go through at least looking like you're swallowing. Well, there's really about only one way to make it look like you're swallowing something, and that is swallow it. But so he probably doesn't want this meal anymore. My dad confirmed again yesterday, by the way. We were talking about my childhood, and he affirmed that the reason I don't like bananas is that I associate them with being sick, because when I was little and I was sick, I got bananas, and he says that that's my association with them, why I don't like them to this day. And I said, I've always thought that to be true, but I couldn't decide whether I just convinced myself that was the case or if it was true. But he backs it up, and I find him to be particularly credible.
He's experienced a lot.
Chevy Chase, at age 80, fell off the stage at a Christmas vacation event after arriving in a wheelchair. So apparently Chevy Chase isn't as mobile as he once was. He played President Ford on SNL, and President Ford was notorious for falling. So they would simulate, that was the Chevy Chase shtick on SNL, was always taking a tumble downstairs. And it makes me wonder if that in some way has
taken a toll,
contributed to him at age 80. But he still seems so young in 1989. And because that movie is so classic, and when you see it, it's like those characters are frozen in time. So then when you see current day Chevy Chase, you go,
whoa,
wait, how's that possible? He looks more like Lionel Barrymore in It's a Wonderful Life than he looks like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation. So hopefully he will be okay. Here's why Adele thinks no one else can sing her songs like her. She said, with my music and for whoever listens to it, I think I'm not the best singer in the world at all, but no one else can sing my songs like me because they didn't write them. No one can sing my songs like me, period. The lyrics are not their own, and I don't think anyone else should sing my songs, she said.
Ooh, no.
I like it.
Then she goes on. She was prodded because apparently Aretha Franklin remade Rolling in the Deep before she passed, and she said, no, I don't mind. I don't mind when people do it.
Well, yeah, I think if there's one person that can get in that realm too, it would be...
Right. But she said they're just never going to emote it.
Yeah, and that's fair.
The way. And I think that is
fair.
right. She has a particular delivery to it and a particular style that it would be nearly impossible to completely duplicate. So, yeah, I don't mind. And then if you're looking for Potty Mouth Grandma, have you seen the viral video about I have read what she says, but I've not actually seen it. It's an Iowa grandma. She's like, 96 or something like that? She has got a racy jingle about evaporated milk. Come on, Meemaw, cut out the potty mouth. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Last summer, a doctor urged 51-year-old Ernie Larson from Norway to get off his couch and pick up a hobby. Ernie knew he needed to make a change for his health, so he bought a metal detector and started walking the empty land around his community. He figured he'd get some exercise and hopefully find some pocket change along the way. At first, fresh air and pocket change were the only things Ernie found. Then one day, he discovered something astonishing. He uncovered a treasure trove of gold coins and jewelry. When he had them appraised, experts determined that the gold pieces dated back almost 2,000 years. Historians from Norway's leading university said that Ernie's discovery was the country's gold find of the century. The moral of this story isn't about wealth or buried treasure. It's about the potential we unlock in ourselves when we say yes to opportunity. Ernie made just one small change in his life, but his yes opened the floodgates to something new and positive, and that changed everything. If your life could use a fresh start, I encourage you to step into the unknown. Stretch beyond your comfort zone and strive for goals that seem too big to achieve. Find the courage to make even one small change in life. Say yes to opportunity and see what you discover on the other side. You might find pocket change, or you might discover gold. For more to help you thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 844-94-BIBLE. That's 844-94-BIBLE. 844-94-BIBLE.
This Saturday night, come see the most talked about act that has ever played at the Lincoln Jamboree, the world-famous Malpass Brothers. The Malpass Brothers perform on the Grand Ole Opry, were featured guest on Larry's Country Diner, and are currently in the process of hosting their own show on RFD TV. The show starts at 6:45 with Jay Henderson and the Super Six, plus special guest stars Amy Lynn Brown-Loyal, the Singing Binghams, George Jones impersonator Alan Hilbert, and many more. And be sure and come early and eat an old old-fashioned supper in the restaurant, served from 4 p.m. until showtime, with entrees like country fried steak, pork tenderloin, chicken and dumplings, baked ham, and the Malpass brothers' favorite salmon patties, served with a full salad bar, 2 vegetables, and bread. You don't need reservations for the meal, but you do for the show. So call 270-358-3545 or buy them at the door before the show. Saturday night at Joel Ray's Lincoln Jamboree in Hodgenville, where country music comes alive every Saturday night at 6:45. Wow, what a meal and superstar show.
Hear that? Is that America cheering or a sausage patty sizzling to perfection? It's time to cheer for Egg McMuffin and fresh cracked eggs at McDonald's. It's time to wake up to the aroma of freshly baked biscuits and treat yourself to a real honest-to-goodness morning meal. Breakfast, it's on at McDonald's. Choose any breakfast sandwich, buy one, get one free. Available only on the app. Price and participation may vary. McD app download and registration required. Single item at regular price.
EMB's point to ponder for today. Politics aside, what's the dumbest thing someone has argued with you about?
My internet provider a couple of weeks ago, where he told me that he was at my house, and I said, no, you weren't, because I was here the entire time. Then he said, well, you missed 3 big trucks parked out front. I said, no, they said unless they're invisible, they weren't there.
They were all wearing cloaks of invisibility, Sam. Everybody knows that's a real
Well, then
thing.
he said also my car wasn't there. I said, well, that's impossible unless...
Yeah, you were at someone's home, but you weren't at mine.
Correct.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
So I had to think long and hard about it, and I decided I could probably come up with a specific. Unfortunately, I can't tell people what it is, but it's things like this have happened multiple times.
Last show?
This is probably not even last show, just because it's not really entertaining to anyone other than me. But you'll get the occasional person who will want to argue over the contents of, say, something that's been published. And when they just really want it changed, they want it to disappear, but they claim that it's not factual. But then when I ask specific questions, well, blah, 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 yes. Well, blah, 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 yes. Blah, 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 yes. Okay, well then, yeah, but no. And so they get caught. They just are so determined that they want to influence and change something that they can't even understand how dumb their argument is. So that's probably the thing for me, that sometimes people just keep digging their hole deeper and deeper. So it's for you, internet provider. Did you come up with anything, hon? Is there
No.
I mean, I've been involved in similar arguments as that one.
Yeah, that.
Usually I just...
Yeah.
Alea went through a spell where she was determined. She couldn't be convinced that her point of view was even presented scientific proof.
Listen, that airplane ordeal. Do you remember that phase we went through?
Was that the TV, right?
I thought I was going to lose my mind.
Wasn't it TV and television?
Well, she doesn't like
little.
to argue about that. But.
That's a little one on the scale. The airplane one, I just... Whew.
Sometimes. And as we all know, no matter your age, sometimes argument is just sport. If he just like to argue for fun. That's all. On television or TV, 2020 tonight on ABC. Raid the Cage is on CBS. The Last Cowboy is on CMT. Tomorrow, CBS has Funny You Should Ask. It's a comedy game show. The Heisman Trophy ceremony is tomorrow on ESPN. Sam, will you win the Heisman Trophy this season?
Jaden Daniels.
So you will not. Okay. Saturday Night Live, Adam Driver and Olivia Rodrigo. I believe this will be Adam Driver's 3rd time hosting, so he'll just be a couple times away from the 5-Timers Club. Sunday after 60 Minutes, CBS has a Grammy salute to 50 years of hip-hop. I'm really looking forward to this. On the Grammys last year, they did a big tribute, but it was compressed into about like 12, 15 minutes. This should be a whole hour, so I think it will be good. And the Eagles at the Cowboys Sunday night on NBC.
That'll be a good game.
On WNBC.
So it's like a rivalry week because that's a big rivalry in Cougs and Cats tonight.
Yeah, they're on par. They're the same level.
I don't think Eagles Cowboys holds a candle.
Well, I'd say you're probably right. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1941, the United States entered World War II as Congress declared war against Imperial Japan, a day after the attack on Pearl Harbor. So I just want to share something real quick. We don't really have time, so I'll try to move quickly. My dad gifted me yesterday a flag, the Stars and Stripes, that had flown June 11th. It had flown on the masthead of the USS Arizona, June 11th, 1989, that my great uncle had procured for my granddad. So there's a big certificate that says where it flew, the date it flew. It's got like the Army officials, etc., and the flag in a shadow box case in the certificate. So my dad had asked me to be the caretaker of that going forward. And on Remembrance Day of Pearl Harbor, he presented that to me yesterday for me to protect for the next generation and pay it forward. So anyway, it's one of the treasures that I will love. I've shared with you many times, if you ever go to the USS Arizona Memorial, you will feel different when you leave than when you arrived. It's a very somber and powerful place. So to have something like that flew over the entombed soldiers actually attached to the USS Arizona, it still sticks up out of the water, is a great thing to have. So anyway, thought I would share that. Yesterday was a special day for that. What else do you need to know about? Birthdays today. Kim Basinger is 70 today. Terry Hatcher is 59. Mike Messina is 55. Terry Hatcher, speaking of Seinfeld, they're real and they're fabulous. I don't know what season or episode that is.
Nor do I.
Chart toppers.
Do you have any gone but not forgotten? Oh, there they are.
Nostradamus.
Oh, can't forget him.
James Doolittle. Don Hewitt. Charlie Rich.
Well, I was going to say, we have one, and it feels right that it's on Grayson County Edmondson Day. Steve Meredith.
Oh, Steve Meredith. Today?
Today. At least it's what popped up on my Facebook. So this morning.
I knew it was December. I thought it was... Okay, you're right.
But it makes sense that it would be on Grayson County Edmondson County.
It does make sense.
Because we would have gotten a text message this morning about it.
The Everly Brothers, 1958 Problems. Let's go to 1967.
What number is this, Chip?
We played this one even earlier this week. Daydream Believers, the Monkees. Okay, let's go to 1976.
Kick off your shoes and sit right down.
Let's go to 1985 and Lionel Richie and Say You Say Me. I had a dream. I had an awesome dream. Let's go to 1994. Boyz II Men on Bended Knee. Now, in 2003, No Doubt was number one with It's My Life. I was 52 years old before I realized.
Okay, I do know this song.
That this is a remake. I did not know this was a remake when it came out in 2003. Only earlier this year did I ever hear the original.
Who did the original?
Talk. 1984. I can't believe I lived in the 80s and did not know that this was a single.
I didn't know that there was a song in the 80s that you didn't know.
I know. That's why I was so shocked. I shared with colleagues of mine. I was like, how did I not know this?
Did they know?
I assumed this was Depeche Mode when I heard it. But I looked it up and it was Talk.
It sounds like Depeche Mode.
Yes, it does. And in 2012, Bruno Mars was number one with Locked Out of Heaven. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Happiness is an inside job. Happiness is an inside job. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's